You better just let your soul glow. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hair Appointment on the Sister Speak Show. The Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. But you better call me Sister Speak. It's 3:47 p.m. I'm recording from Dallas, Texas. It's about 4,892 degrees. However, with just a splash of water and maybe one ice cube, we'll be all right. And just one lick from a cone of ice cream. Oh my goodness. An ice cream cone right now would just be stupendous. Brothers and sisters, how are you? What's the weather like where you are? Are you maintaining? So much is going on, right? Well, no, you're not listening to this episode by accident. You know, if you come to the Sister Speak Show, you were sent here. But this is a new segment that I have added to this platform. Now, if you've been supporting the Sister Speak movement, then you are aware that hair, skin, and nails was a topic that I was going to feature on the upgrade. And the hair appointment is an article that was out of the Speak Sister Speak mobile magazine, a featured article. But I decided to switch all of that off and switch it on this way. I no longer am going to be doing the platform. That won't be a part of the network. Instead, replacing it with the hair appointment. Oh, goodness. That's the power of producing your own network, right? You have to learn how to constantly reshape, reform, resuscitate. You have to think about your listeners, what's the climate, wherever they are. I think about all of you all, no matter where you're listening from. This isn't just, okay, she's just talking. No, I literally do what I have to do in order to bring you the flavor in your ear because we want to be a part of your listening shuffle. You feel me? So anyway, shout out to everybody that's listening and welcome to my first time listeners. Welcome back to my faithful Sister Speak Show listeners. We're going to have to give us a tribe name. Yeah, we're going to have to come up with a tribe name for sure. But anyway, the sound effects in the background are all royalty free, copyright free, provided by YouTube, and they are hair salon sound effects. So that spraying you heard in the beginning, some of you were like, where's that? No, we're not spraying any bugs. This is just, we're letting our soul glow. You know, the juices and berries aspect of things. So why the hair appointment on this platform now? It's because, as I mentioned, you know, obviously reshaping the platform, but truth always be told, our hair is a beauty mark. Never thought about it like that. Well, not everybody, but it's a beauty mark. It is a signature of the Most High's creation. This is us seeing the fearfully, wonderfully made aspect of who we are, reading the scriptures and likening ourselves unto what we see. Now, the aspect of the hair appointment is we're going to cover all aspects of hair, not just the things that make us smile and twirl and sashay or sachet. I have braces, y'all, so it could be what you fill in the blanks. I like to buy a word, sachet. But seriously, it's about everything about hair, okay? So we're able to embrace the wisdom, excuse me, the reviews on products, tips, and news clips that are appropriate for the village, right? So these are local, national, and international news clips that provide wisdom for educational purposes only about hair. And that's not to say that you don't know about hair. I know that anybody that listens to the Sister Speak Show, you're wise. So that's not what I'm saying. And for those of you who are not wise, but you strive to be, you're in the right place. But it's about how do we get back to running away from the colonizers' projection of our image and their inferiority complex that they have projected on us for a long time, okay? And how it runs in our veins. and how it comes out in our expressions of how we do our hair, what products we use, and all of that. And it also includes the renaissance of hair, right? We're not going to forget the barber shops and the beauty salons. We're not going to forget the nurture and nature aspect that comes with being in a salon or a shop. When I say we're covering all aspects, we're covering all aspects. Now I have to somebody needs to get their ends clipped. No, that's that big chop. Your ends is split. That's the last thing you want to hear the beautician say to you is your ends is split. Look, Edwina Scissorhands, fresh out of cosmetology, ready to put all kind of styles in my head. No, thank you. No, I really decline. No, but seriously, it's about embracing our hair where it is, okay? It's not about shame. And it is about me also letting you know, now I remember my thought. Have you ever tried to play it off until you remember what you were about to say? That's what that exactly was. I know in the future in your front end. But no, this network is rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. You need to know that off the rip as you enter into the Sister Speak Show network and land world. And if you're going to be listening, two things that you have to have on this podcast when you're listening is you got to drink water, and you have to have scuba gear, because we do deep sea dive. We have conversations that they go deep. And I say things where when you first listen, you're like, did she just say that? And unanimously, the rest of the listeners are going to say, yeah, she did. Welcome to the Sister Speak Show. So that's what that's about. We are not going to shy away from what needs to be said. I'm not here to please people. I have been delivered from that. And when you have been delivered from wanting to not step on anybody's toes and walking on eggshells, and when you come out of that low vibration, you gain a sense of stability about yourself and confidence about yourself. And it's not a confidence where you just feel like, yeah, I'm going to go around and just disrespect everybody and just say what I feel. No, it's about you still know how to filter what you say, but you're still able to say it like it is, right? And there's nothing wrong with having some pizzazz and, like I said, flavor, because nobody wants a saltine with no salt on it. That's not a salt. That's not a saltine. That's an oyster cracker. Real talk. So this episode is epic because we are going to be healed. That's the objective. What's the objective for the hair appointment? To be healed. To come out of wearing hairstyles that don't belong to us. To stop pointing out styles in the book and then getting mad because after you got out the salon chair, you still weren't that celebrity. It's about making sure that you see who shows up in the mirror. Okay, right? We want us to just accept and maintain our beauty. And many of us are at a point, come on, Sister Speak, your sound effects. I got to talking and it got feeling good. It was feeling real good. No, but seriously, I'm feeling high vibrations today, brothers and sisters. And cheers. Hold on. Let me. Cheers to you. Let's get that good reflective power in us. Okay, now, I want us to embrace what we are supposed to have on our head, and I want us to unlearn colonizing behaviors and the lies from the devil. I want us to also understand what it is to have your scalp smited. I want us to be 100% delivered from relaxers. I want us to be able to comb our children's hair daily, outside of if you put your child's hair in some cornrows or a braided hairstyle. I don't want to see our babies walking outside with tracks in their hair at 2 years old. What happened? I can tell you what happened. All you ate was hot Cheetos during your pregnancy, and it burned your baby's hair in the womb. This is unacceptable, ma'am. Just for me, I don't care what it is, and this is no disrespect to any product. I'm just saying. It can't be just for me. It has to be as for me and my house. That's the type of mind state that you have to have. You have to train up a child's hair in which way it should go. Don't tell me that you used to play with your doll's hair and combed your doll's hair more than you've combed your daughter's hair. We just need you to transfer that energy into having our babies embrace their crown at an early age, and the sooner the better. It is about spending the brown dollar in the village, supporting Black-owned beauty products. It's about building back our Wall Street and reclaiming economic power, unlearning division, respecting the fact that the Most High God does multiply by subtraction, understanding what fiscal responsibility looks like for the village in terms of an industry that clocks in billions and internationally benefits everybody but ruins us to an extent, hear me, and how we have got to come out of the curses that we are voluntarily putting on ourselves every 2 to 3 weeks. And some don't want to hear this conversation, and I understand, because I too have been in a place where as I mentioned on one of my episodes before, when I was first opening up the word and reading it, I saw myself all in it and wasn't ready for it. And I was like, ooh, if I don't read it, then it doesn't apply to me. And the Lord was like, is that what you think? Nah, you're mine, and I need you to purge, because the low vibrating behavior that's going on with you, you're not aware of it right now, but you'll find out later on. There's been some spell work done on you, and I need you to come out of this. So I'm going to press you and keep my hands on you and keep the angels around you and deliver you, and also you're going to have to do the work, because you do have to work out that soul salvation. But I'm not going to let you close the Holy Spirit and then think that you can go out and, hold on. Here, wait a minute. I hope I still have it, because this was me. That was me. Full-fledged, no joke. And the Lord was like, no, you're mine. You're mine. You got to come out of this. You got to come out of this. And it's been a journey ever since. So you may hear things that you don't want to hear, but you need to hear, because it will save your life spiritually and physically. And as brothers and sisters, we are missing out on the joy of embracing and maintaining our royal priesthood, because we've appropriated. Nobody wants to have this conversation, but the hair appointment will cover these topics, okay? So I thank you for listening and supporting this new segment, so to speak, on the Sister Speak show. That's what it's about, brothers and sisters. It's really about elevating, because I care about my brothers and sisters evolving, These background sounds are also royalty free from YouTube. I care, and other people care. So it's about who's still left in the village and who is willing to redecorate the village with a true image. Who's ready to raise their self-esteem and come out of pseudo-confidence? Hypocrisy. Hairstyles that don't look right. Yes, we're gonna, as I mentioned before, we will cover all aspects of our journey with our hair, okay? And we know that we have all, most of us, have gone through some trials and tribulations with our hair. Yeah. Sometimes it was Thriller, and sometimes it was, I hope tomorrow will be a better you, a better me. Feeling great coming outside because the hairstyle actually landed. I mean, who wants to dismount and fall, right? Yeah, you knew that this hairstyle was going to be it, and you knew that you was going to be popping wherever you were going, and you ran into the crowd from Showtime at the Apollo, and as soon as you stepped out, they were like, boo, you didn't even get to rub the wood, you didn't get to talk to whoever the guest MC was, Sandman didn't even get to come out, just the crowd was like, if you don't, no ma'am, no sir, this, I know you felt it, but I know you see it, but this isn't the style for you, right? And it's just, once again, finding what works for us and still being true to our image, to where the Most High God is not disappointed with how we are rearranging our image and how we are looking more like enemies than children. Ooh. Yeah, that's this kind of show. So, we don't hold anybody here. We don't block the doors, nor do we chain the doors. We are strapped, but we don't hold anybody. So that's what this is about, brothers and sisters. It's about healing the village, healing our hair, maintaining it, protecting it, embracing our crown, our melanin, our skin, our skin, our nails. It's about unlearning all of the pollution that is manifesting in our minds about our melanin. Yes, we're going to cover it all. Why not? This is what needs to be had. See, there's some conversations that you can have on any platform, but the content is controlled and so many key aspects are not expressed because of the controlling aspect of the platform. I love the fact that I'm able to speak in spirit and truth and in sincere kindness that about topics that need to be heard with encouragement and a panacea, a remedy. We don't believe in you taking anything, and this is a spiritual, hear me, anything that is going to have negative side effects and actually add more problems to you than away from you. So the side effects of the Sister Speak Show and other podcasts like the Sister Speak Show who speak boldly, who speak in faith, who are courageous, who have amazing content, the purpose is because we have a purpose. We're not here to please man, as I stated before. We are here to please the Most High God. And that is a joyful feeling to have when you finally elevate and stop walking on eggshells and you don't go home or leave away from any type of conversation not saying what you should have said, and then having to reap because you were afraid of what man would say or do to you if you actually said what thus saith the Most High God, the Lord, and then if you would have said it, experienced a reward. Now I'm getting to the point in my walk where a reward for me is, Lord, please give me fruits of the Spirit and add more fruit to the fruit that I already have. And please, if you would purge me, like I'm praying, I'm asking for things you can't buy. Okay? So we want the goal for podcasts like this and the other podcasts is that we will not forsake what we've been told to say. And sometimes we have assignments that we're like, why you want me to cover that topic again? Because of why? You want me what? You want me to say what? Okay, all right. Nah, ain't no punt now. Ain't no punt now. Nah. I got it now. I got my slingshot. Okay, all right. Nah, I know Goliath at 3. Yes, as soon as the school bell rings, I know Goliath at 3. Thanks. And the next thing you know, and you're like, it's 3 o'clock. And you have to go live. And that's just what it is. We genuinely want us to receive what we're supposed to receive. And there are some blessings that are being blocked in the village. And there are some curses on us in the village. And we want every person in the village to recognize the spell work and the curses and the voodoo, to break its power and to be delivered. If anybody has an issue with anyone, let me bring it on to me. If you have a problem with me wanting you to vibrate higher, I don't give a fuck. You know why? Because what I want super rules what you want. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. It's super rules. Because healing, power, and victory is the goal for the village. And if I'm not saying to you anything or suggesting anything to you that is low vibrating for you to continue in it, why would you get mad about it? Oh, it's not you. It's that principality in you. Mad because the light is shining on that thing. And that's the realest talk ever. I'm not saying go smoke crack. I'm not saying jump off of a bridge. I'm not saying walk in front of a train. I'm not saying stick your hand in a snake's den. But now if the Lord does decide to put you in the lion's den, you better praise his holy name. Come on, Daniel's cousin. So you can't get mad at me. I didn't tell you that. I'm not saying go swim with sharks. You won't ever hear me saying that. I'm not telling you to stick your head inside of the jaw of a crocodile. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the enemy seeks to kill and to destroy. He devours. He's hungry and he's ravenous. And my brothers and sisters, some of them, are still on the plantation. And some of my brothers and sisters have an identity crisis. And that's just what it is. And so what we want is for it not to be that. And if you don't like it, you know you don't have to listen right now. You do know that, right? You don't have to listen. But for some reason, I know you're not going anywhere. You know why? Because you've been chosen to change, brother and sister. Congratulations. Who put my name in the hat? I don't remember entering nothing. That ain't fair. That's breaking my rights. Breaking your rights. No. See, the angels done signed your name. What? Oh, okay. No, that's a little different. Yeah, I know. No, it's good. You're talking about the angels. It's good. Yeah, I know it is. No, seriously. Yes. If you're still listening, it's because you've been chosen to listen. And we are all at different points in our life where we're either going in or coming out of. But the whole point is that deliverance is a cycle and it's continuous. And there are rewards when you actually decide to do a 180. And that's just what it's about. We're just giving you that extra push for the 180. And so the hair appointment will encompass all of that, covering all aspects of the hair industry, all aspects of hair, all aspects of hair health, focusing on salons that promote healthy hair healing, trichologists dealing with scalp disorders. We're gonna cover it all. I just ask that you not be sensitive, please, because I'm not gonna take my foot off the gas at all. Okay, brothers and sisters, we'll be right back. Whenever you hear this little long pause, sometimes it's because I'm scrolling for my commercials. This is like, we'll be right back after this commercial break. And then I speeded up when I found it. Oh, goodness. Good vibrations with you, brothers and sisters. It's 4:14 p.m. in Dallas, Texas. It's about 98 degrees. And this is your host, Sister Speak. And if you are writing or if you're just sitting down and listening, I thank you for your listening support. You mean a lot to me. And I hope that we can continue to bond because we're divinely protected. We're light workers. And it's predestined for us to be delivered and vibrate higher. Okay? How's that sound? I know it sounds good. All right, we'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Greetings, this is Sister Speak. It's always time to podcast and chill with the Sister Speak show. We want to be the flavor in your ear. That's why we added a new segment, The Hair Appointment, focusing on hair, skin, and nails, with tips, products, and wisdom. We were covering this topic on The Upgrade and in the Speak Sister Speak mobile magazine. On The Hair Appointment, we will embrace, we will learn, we will refrain, and we will embody our crown because our hair is our crown and glory, and we must protect it. We can't allow any type of damage or lack of wisdom to be the reason why we lose our crown. It's time for the glow up and to express yourself in a high vibration. Why not? Thank you for podcasting and chilling with the Sister Speak show. The platform is no longer a part of the Sister Speak network. You were already warned that she was sleeping with the ops, and you're still gonna go over there and lay your head on her pillow. The latest episode of the tour on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now, rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, Snakes in the Studio, Part 2, Two-Faced Managers and Artists, Poison in the Pillow, He Said, She Said, Now Someone's Dead. Click the link in the bio for the latest episode of the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. There won't be any more warnings. That's why your heart is beating fast. He's out there again. You can see him from the stage. He's obsessed with you. That's why he's taking your pictures. You're his fantasy. The latest episode of The Suspense Files on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now, rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, Fantasies and Felonies, Strip Club Killers. On the Suspense Files, we cover the who, what, when, where, why, and urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Click the link for the latest episode of the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Try not to fall in love with a stripper. Welcome back. You are listening to The Hair Appointment on the Sister Speak Show. I am your host, Sister Speak. Please check out those latest episodes. They are heavy. You know, it takes a lot of energy to record, and especially when you're speaking on subject matters that are sensitive and that are prevalent in the village. However, you have to do what you have to do. But I am enjoying podcasting. I'm enjoying speaking to you all and giving you content that you listen to and enjoy. Also, you know, like I said before, rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. I don't make any apologies at all. That's a part of being delivered from being codependent and walking on eggshells. I do know where I'm going when I go there with my language. And as I mentioned before, with all that I've learned when it comes to speaking, because I've been training since I was 2, and I have studied with two amazing men when I was in my preteens, and just I've had a lot of experience. And one of the things that I have learned in my experiences, especially in the places that I've been, is that code switching is a term that, you know, people like to use, but it is necessary when you're a journalist. It's necessary when you're an investigative journalist. When you are more so a journalist that gears towards any type of urban or suburban commentary or topic, as long as it is still, you know, for me, dealing in the village. And some of my subject matter is going to require for me to get gutta. It's going to require for me to almost sound, you know, to have the spirit of Judith within me, to where, you know, in the spirit, there's a spiritual decapitation that takes place. I am not going to let the devil dominate me or project a spirit of fear. So it is important, you know, that I say what I have to say. Understand that. So I have to code switch. Period. I say rated R rated R for strong content, language, thoughts, and ideas, because that's appropriate. You know, some of you may not speak in that specific code, or may not like to hear that a specific code that I speak in, but that's not my problem. You know, I have to say what I have to say, because it's not just about you in the aspect of the problem. And when the Most High God leads certain brothers and sisters to this podcast, they're leading them to that subject matter for a reason. His eyes are on them. And I'm speaking in what they can understand. If I don't, then they may not get it and walk away. Now, I have failed to deliver the mail, and I can't afford to do that. So that is why I say what I say, and I mean it with passion and tough love, okay? She must be gearing us up for something. I'm just saying, you know, you never know how this conversation is going to go, but do expect on the hair appointment to hear subject matters like the Vic Chop, beauty supply stores, salon etiquette. I can't even get this next one out because it's too funny. What do you do when before is still before, and it's supposed to be after? Seasonal hair products, meaves, which are man weaves. Your texture is your treasure. Texture envy, hair rituals, and why do you keep patting your hair? I'm starting to think that at some point, all that patent is going to have to cease. I know it itches. I used to wear weaves before. Okay, let me break this all the way down. I used to wear weaves. I know what it is. Okay? I had the pseudo confidence. I thought I was everything, and I wasn't. No, you know why? Because it had to come out. Because that wasn't really mine. Because I had to go and buy some more. Because it was shedding. The list goes on and on and on with the cycle of routine that you go through when it comes to wearing a wig or a weave, getting your hair done in as a whole. I know what that is. And I have been weave free for a long time. I wear braids. However, I've been weave free for a long time. The Most High God told me straight up, I can't identify you with somebody else's hair on your head. Okay, well, ain't no commercial breaks you can take after that. The Lord don't let you put up your finger and be like, excuse me, I'll be back. Nah, you're going to have to sit there and get this work when he's delivering you. See, delivery is not something that, have you ever heard of a woman not screaming when she gives birth? If she does, you better run because she's definitely not from this side. No, there is travail and there is a lot of pain that goes in deliverance, but it has to be delivered in order for it to come out, the baby. And so you can liken that into whatever you're going through with your hair. There's some things and identity crises that we're suffering from as a result of putting a wig or a weave on. Here we go. Let me explain the useless points, but they're still valid, okay? We're not shaming anybody who has chemotherapy. We understand that hair loss comes from pregnancy, medicine, stress, domestic violence, somebody pulling your hair out, a fight. Hair loss comes from a style gone wrong. It comes from relaxers. It comes from a gamut of ingredients, if you will, that create hair loss, okay? This is not about that. This is not about ignoring scalp disorders. But we're also not going to ignore the fact that the Lord does smite scalps either. I'm not here to make anybody, once again, we're here to take the Band-Aid off and stitch up the wound, put some mercurochrome in it, get some iodine, get whatever is needed to heal the wound properly, okay? So you can run on and tell somebody. So you can take up your bed and walk. So you can understand that it's better to be maimed before the Lord versus lame before the Lord. Some of you will get that as you develop, as you grow, and as he chooses to give you the awareness of the wisdom. I've been delivered from wearing a weave. Okay, I'm not a Kardashian. And neither are you. You're not. You're not. Now look. Check this in. This is the realest part ever of life. If you were supposed to have that texture of hair, you would have it. Guaranteed. But you don't. So we have to embrace and refrain from suffering unnecessarily and putting curses on our hair that we're not aware that we're putting on our head. Oh, I don't believe all that. You're doing too much. You're doing too less, which is why you have that in your hair in the first place. If you ask me, but don't ask me, because it can get real in the field. I am all for sparring for practice, but I really do this when it comes to a conversation. And you don't want it. Now, some people may try to enter and say, oh, yeah, I got with it. You don't have the qualifications to get with me. Once again, just hold the bags while I spar. Okay. All right. Getting back to hair, skin, and nails. Hair, skin, and nails. Okay. All right. Brothers and sisters, we are going to be healthier. And I'm excited about that. So we're going to get into these clips. And then I'm going to come back and join you on the other side of this wonderful first episode of the hair appointment. Well, what's the name of the episode, Sister Sweet? Good question. You'll know when you see the flyer. still in the process of figuring that out. Yeah. But anyway, I do thank you for listening to the first episode of The Hair Appointment. And we are in for a treat with these clips that are, once again, for educational purposes only, fair use act, just to raise awareness, okay, and to put the village in a better place. It's not to offend intentionally, it's just to tell it like it is. And that's just what we do here at the Sister Speak Show. So I thank you for being a wonderful listening audience. Get ready. Today is your day. Yes, you. Okay, let me set the stage. No, I'm not. I'm going to set the stage after you listen to the clip. But just get ready, because whether you know it or not, you're getting ready for your hair appointment. You're listening to The Hair Appointment at 4:28 p.m., recording from Dallas, Texas. I am your host, Sister Speak, and it is a joy divine to be in the land of the living, speaking with you today. Hey, let's get into it.
Dominate the ethnic hair care. And 5, Madam C.J. Walker invented hair care products for African American women. She sold her products door to door and became a self-made millionaire. Today, Koreans dominate the ethnic hair care and beauty supply business. In Washington, D.C., where African Americans are the largest consumers of hair care products, there are few beauty supply businesses owned by people of color.
The Korean and Asian ancestors that have passed down and started with dry cleaners and certain services that were in the African American community that turned into wig making, and they had access to hair from South Korea. So within the Washington D.C. region, they kept the ownership, and it transferred into the beauty supply industry.
They pooled their money, and all the stores chip in, where we don't have that kind of capital to purchase at that volume that they do.
The Dudley Beauty College in Washington, D.C. has its own line of hair care products.
That is in partnership with the cosmetologist, and anything that affects the cosmetologist affects Dudley products. We do not sell our product to beauty supply places. We sell the product directly to the cosmetologist.
Action Beauty Supply, an African-American owned and operated business, has serviced beauty salons and consumers in the D.C. area for 30 years.
I think it's very important for Black people to invest and own their own businesses, for the simple fact that we are the main connoisseurs when it comes to hair care and hair products.
While Koreans dominate the ethnic beauty supply business, people of color are organizing to gain a share in the marketplace. For Howard University News Service, I'm Beverly Lindsay Johnson.
The importance of keeping your crown. She came back home and opened a hair salon specializing in treating natural hairstyles for Black women. Our morning reporter Pepper Baker is joining us live outside of her shop to talk about the natural hair movement and this businesswoman's push to create more Black History Month in the community. Good morning, Pepper.
Good morning, Aaron. Yes, Jasmine Carson opened Creations That Jazz Hair Salon here in Macon, specializing in treating natural and protective styles for Black women. Now, each day, more and more women are getting behind the natural hair movement, pushing to change those societal pressures placed on what's considered appropriate styles for Black hair. Now, Carson is using her platform as a business owner not only to encourage women and children to embrace their natural hair, but she's also doing more to promote Black History Month.
Growing up as a little girl, I was picked on for my natural hair.
Jasmine Carson went through what a lot of Black women know all too well, learning how to embrace their natural hair.
I forced my dad to give me a relaxer. I think it was like the 6th or 7th grade. And from there, I had straight hair. Even in beauty school, when they teach you the chemicals that are in the relaxer, it's horrible. And everything that touches your scalp actually goes to your blood flow.
She left Macon to pursue a job working in the accounts payable department at CNN in Atlanta for about a decade. she came back home to follow her passion of doing hair, specializing in natural styles for Black women.
No heat. I stopped doing flat irons here, so I only use the blow dryer. So I do all protective styles. So curls, bantu knots, two-strand twists, knotless braids. I try to focus on our natural hairstyles going back to our culture in Africa.
She works with clients of all ages, encouraging them to embrace their natural styles.
I know in 2021, our natural hair is still not accepted a lot as we want it to be, but here, that's what I focus on, even with my children and my adults. I want them to feel beautiful with their natural curly hair that God gave them.
She's using her platform to promote Black history in the community, hosting her first drive-through movie event in Carolyn Clayton Park, showing the film Hidden Figures, based on the first Black female mathematicians to work at NASA.
It wasn't long ago, and our ancestors made these sacrifices for us to sit in the positions. I wouldn't be able to have my own business if it wasn't for Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. I wouldn't have this opportunity.
Now, this story is personal for me. I mean, I went through years of struggling to love my hair, straightening and damaging it. It took me a while to embrace my curls. But Carson's drive-through movie event is going to be next Friday, the 26th. It starts at 6:30 p.m. at Carolyn Clayton Park, which is also known as Central City Park. Reporting live in Macon, Pepper Baker, 13 WMAZ News.
Oh, absolutely, Pepper. I can completely relate. I think if the pandemic was good for anything for Black women, it has allowed us to embrace our curls during this time, especially when the salons closed at the beginning. But I can attest to Jasmine. She has caressed my natural curls as well. So if you're looking for more information on her shop or her salon, just check for this story on our website. We have all of the information there.
Salon specializes in hair weaving.
We have different types of weave for different types of clients. So we get some clients who they don't want to spend much. They want something like maybe a synthetic weave, which is equally good, but it's not going to serve you for so long. It can serve you maximum for 1 month. Then after that, you can keep reusing it as much as the human hair weaves. So the human hair weaves, we have different types. We have the Peruvian rain weave. This is the body wave. This is a very good type of weave. It's quite costly, but the good thing about it is that it's going to serve you for a very long time. So now
and when one desires to have many hairstyle options, artificial hair becomes a real necessity.
Women feel, funkier and sexier when they have the long weave. Yeah, it looks really nice. And as for me, you see, I don't have curly hair. I don't have naturally curly hair. So I'd rather have this wig, which I know I can be able to get the look I desire without having to, mess up with my own hair. And I think it's very convenient. And women are really going for it right now. The weave, first of all, gives me body. My hair becomes awesome. I get any hairstyle I want at any time. Also, for maintenance purposes, it's easy to maintain a weave compared to my own natural hair.
Entrepreneur Pauline Adhiambo agrees. She says hefty sums are not a shock to weave enthusiasts. They are willing to spend as much as $2,000 to have their hair done.
Your image is everything. So someone looks at you from up top and your hair has to look good. So that influences women to spend money on looking good. We've realized there's a rapid rise in the upper class market in Kenya, and the upper class is ready to spend money on good things, which is good hair.
Sales of weaves and wigs have been on the rise, and international brands are jostling for the market share.
The demand is so high. Now I used to get my weave supplied like every month, but now it's like after 2 weeks. And I believe the Chinese are doing a pretty good job because now they can meet the demand for Africans because people want different lengths. Now guys are asking up to 30 inches of weave, and we're happy because the Chinese can be able to provide that.
The supply of artificial hair in Kenya has spawned an industry that generates hundreds of millions of dollars annually.
Actually, the future is very bright because the market has not been penetrated enough in East Africa with hair extensions. Like if you look like in West Africa, there's lots of hair vendors. If you look in the States, in the UK, Europe, there's lots of hair vendors. But in East Africa, Kenya is not already there. So there's a lot of potential for us to grow and to be more competitive and to give better quality.
It is certain that the hair market in Kenya and Africa as a whole is destined for rapid growth, as disposable income among women increases, buoyed by growing economies across the continent. Susan Mongeli, CCTV.
Mala Temple in southern India. The most visited holy place in the world. 40 to 50 million pilgrims visit every year. It is also one of the largest collectors of human hair in the world, 500 tons a year. Most of the virgin hair weaves and wigs worn in Africa and the world originate here. It is considered a virtue for Indian women to have long hair, a sign of great beauty. So why are they giving it up? Sacrificing hair to the gods is thought to bring good luck.
வேலைக்கு போகலன்னா பெருசா வேலைக்கு போனால் தான் நமக்கு காசும் கஷ்டம் இருக்காது. வேலைக்கு போனால் என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? குடி வேலைக்கு போகிறது கிடையாது, பசங்க சரி கிடையாது. ஒட்டை அடிக்கணும்னு அடிக்கல, சரி கோயிலுக்கு வேண்டியது இருந்தோம், சரி எப்படி இருந்தாலும் கோயிலுக்கு தானே கொடுத்துட்டு போகிறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கோயிலுக்கு வர சொல்லியா? அதெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் இல்லை, சாமிக்கு வந்து பார்த்துட்டு போவோம். அதை நம்பிக்கை தான், அவ்வளோதான். நம்ம கோயிலுக்கு போனால் நல்லா இருக்கும்.
She's basically saying that she's praying to the gods. She prays to the gods and she sacrifices her hair. She said, and then the hair is taken away and it feels good. It gives them a peace of mind. But sacrificing their hair is to bring good luck.
It is not just temple hair that is collected.
They're weighing their hair.
150. 150 rupees. Okay. They're not bad. Is she happy?
சந்தோஷமா உங்களுக்கு காசு கொடுத்தது கிடைச்சது? Happy.
Happy. That's a good way.
Yes.
So literally, most of this hair comes from Tirupati temple.
It comes from Tirupati temple plus the other temples also. Majorly 80% of the hair comes from Tirupati temple.
So that's a lot of hair.
Absolutely.
How many tons a month?
Roughly around 10 to 15 tons a month only from Tirupati.
So here we've got the steam curly section.
That's right.
This is what's particularly popular in Africa, yeah?
Absolutely. Among the Afro population across the world.
It's a very labour-intensive process.
It is. It
she's
is.
winding the hair around a metal stick, and then she's rubber banding it, and then what happens after that?
After that, it goes for steam process.
Steaming in a steam machine.
A steam machine.
And that keeps the curls.
It keeps the curls.
I have seen my future is in Africa because I have seen hundreds of African women. When they come into our shop, I see the eyes gleaming with happiness and they see so much hair. Their joys, you can't see how joyful they are because they think their beauty is enhanced by wearing this hair phenomenally.
Justine Lang, Chennai, India.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper. This is Sister Speak with a word of encouragement. No matter what the enemy or enemies try to do to you, God will cause their plans to take no effect, and the pit that they dig for you, they shall fall in. If God be for you, who can be against you? Now say it with me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Be encouraged.
Welcome back. You are listening to the Hair Appointment on the Sister Speak show. Oh, brothers and sisters, that's why I had to play the no weapon clip, because I have to go into the trenches now. Okay, here we go. I'm about to take this background music off. You listen to the clips, all 11 minutes of the clips, and you heard it for yourself. Number 1, a relaxer. kryptonite to our crown. The worst thing that could have ever happened to our crown. One of the worst things that could have ever happened to our crown is the relaxer. The relaxer is not for you. What do you mean? It does what I needed to do. It straightens out what I hate. It straightens out what I feel like I have trouble maintaining. It makes it easier for me to comb my daughter's hair. That's the projection, and you bought into it. And it was created not to provide a remedy, a relaxer, and there's no mistake in the name. Not a perm, but a relaxer is simply meant to relax the enemy. Do you really think that the enemy feels comfortable seeing a whole bunch of hair made of lamb's wool dominating the streets, the workforce, driving by, in the stores, everywhere? A constant reminder of the Most High God and His children, the truth, the word. So why not, excuse me, put money into a vessel's hands and let her come up with a concoction to tear down the image of the Most High God? I don't care if you're a descendant. I don't care about the billionaire aspect of it, the million. I don't care nothing. Nothing of that moves me. I'm speaking the truth at this point. A relaxer is to keep the enemy from being anxious. Excuse me. And the enemy is not happy with the natural hair movement because the image of the Most High God is starting to resurface in its true form. In His true form of creating us in His image and likeness. And so a cream full of poison hits your scalp and then into your blood, creating a chemical imbalance. Cancer. Brain cancer, to be exact. All to relax the dark one, the one who is truly an enemy of God. And if you put a relaxer on your head, you're saying, I don't want to embrace my curls, my coils. I don't say naps. I don't say kinks. I don't say kookabugs. bugs. I don't say BDBs. Used to. But I don't anymore. I may say your kitchen. That's safe. But seriously, it is not for you. And it is a plan to thwart the spread of the gospel. The spread of the gospel is also a look. We are to look like the 12 tribes of Israel, however we come out of the womb, right? So when you put that crack on your head, what you're saying is, I will comply with your anxiety and I will calm you down with your inferiority complex. I will submit and surrender, and I will forsake, as if we have not had enough already stripped from us by the enemy. Here we go voluntarily stripping us of our own crown. You're telling me that you are Miss Village 2000 and whatever, and you're willing to give your crown to somebody who's not even a contestant from the nations. You're willing to forsake it. I'm trying to understand, and I can't, and I won't, because there's nothing you could ever do to make me understand. How is it that you are willing to comply with the graven image of Caesar Barjona. And when I'm not able to grasp what is this? This isn't your hair texture. And it's for a reason. I know the Lord probably looks, the Most High is probably, every time y'all, what did you do to your hair? Like, I know he's like, what is this? This is not okay, daughter. This is not okay, son. And we are poisoning ourselves and have been poisoning ourselves for years. The poison is in the blood. It's in the blood. And we're putting poison on our baby's hair at a young age. And you cannot tell, this is where it's going to get a little tricky for some of you. You can't tell me or justify any reason why you don't comb your daughter's hair. Well, my daughter's hair, it don't move. It doesn't move because you don't move your hands and go get the knockerballs, the royal crown, the detangler, the wide tooth comb, and the pretty bows and barrettes and do her hair. You have to maintain your baby's hair the moment your baby comes out the womb. I'm not saying put harsh chemicals and products on your baby's hair. A newborn, what I'm saying is brushing with a nice newborn brush, speaking affirmations over your baby's crown. All of these type of things are healthy ways to train up your baby into knowing that their crown, no matter the texture, is all right, as is. And that if you maintain it, you will see the rewards of your maintenance. But if you don't comb your baby's hair, they will look like they... Goodness. The heck was that? Sorry, y'all. Texas. Anyway, if you don't maintain your baby's hair, your baby will look like they did 25 somersaults in the desert. I'm serious. You can't just go out and have a baby by a man who has a good texture of hair and get your healing through your baby's texture. Because what if your baby doesn't come out with that texture of hair? Some women do live through their daughter's or son's hair texture because they have not healed and embraced. And so they choose a man specifically for mating reasons and for hoping that the child will come out with good hair. Good hair, when you are healing and learning and seeking a higher vibration for your appearance, you find out it's just merely healthy hair. That's it, just healthy hair, okay? And so when you get that in your bosom, excuse me, it resonates in your energy and you'll be able to project that onto your sons and your daughters, okay? But if you are putting that bullshit on your hair and your daughter's or son's hair, then I'm telling you, you're out of pocket for complying with the request of the enemy. Now, do you, and it's, we have to stop saying perm. That's not what you have on your hair. A perm curls your hair. Other women get perms. And we have known most of the time that perms come with white women. We don't get perms. They're getting their hair curly. We're getting our hair straight. And our hair is already curly, coily, textured perfectly. So you don't have a perm. That's not what you're putting on your hair. You're putting on a relaxer. And what they're doing is they're going and they're putting on the juices that we naturally have flowing through our hair, and they're putting it on their hair because they don't want stringy hair. Some of them. And since we're here, sitting here in the salon chair, in this consultation, if you will, let's just put it all on the Marcells, which to this day I've never been able to use and won't. You have to be a gifted sister to use those Marcells, okay? However, let's just put it on the Marcells for sake of hair terminology, okay? Let's just flow with it. When is the last time that you saw anybody from the nations going out to the beauty supply store, to the kinky coily section, buying that hair and weaving it into their hair? I won't wait. When is it? You don't see it. I'm not talking about a 1 or 2%. I'm not talking about cultural. I'm talking about you don't see it. Richard Simmons to this day is still trying to figure out his ancestry because, okay, born with it. But we're talking about you don't see them wearing it. And you need to let that be a thought forever in your mind. Why? If you believe that Caesar Barjona is the true and living God, then that might explain some of the reasons why you are desperate to evacuate from your lineage in your tribe. That would explain your worship and your walk, which is really, you're just on a treadmill. And it puts everything into its proper perspective, especially if you get mad when a sister tells you that the Most High God is a black man, a brown man. These are the same people who could not wait to have a black president. And when you got one, you were excited and you believed that you had one. So he's not our savior, never has been, never will be. And when someone tells you that your real savior, the super ruler, is someone who looks like you don't want to believe it, and you start wanting to be a Cub Scout or a Girl Scout and a lily pad, and you want to walk away from the truth. And that's disrespectful. You're out of pocket in the village. That's not the codes of conduct. His hair is made of lamb's wool, and that's our hair. It's not our hair if we put relaxer in it. And the damage from the relaxer, we already know, and we'll talk more about it later, but we know the damage from it. But at the beginning of the day, why are you trying to make them comfortable with walking away from the true image? You need to ask, why are they so fearful? As we already raised these questions and answered. But ask yourself that again. An industry making millions of dollars off of us, and most of the people who run that specific industry, they don't like our kind. But we patronize, and we don't patronize with brothers and sisters that have their own beauty salons. So we have to change that and do a 180 and start walking into these black-owned salons, these black-owned beauty supply stores, and putting that dollar into the supply. The problem is there's a curse on us when it comes to building and supporting. And I don't think that curse is something that comes from, I think that's a curse that has been, some type of stuff is going on from the nations to where this energy is consistent to where we don't want to see our own brothers and sisters in the village have wealth. have wealth, have a business, be a successful entrepreneur, and we will even go into these places, and we'll go into other places, but and and just not be a good customer, but expecting excellent customer service, going into these businesses with a preconceived notion. Where did you get the notion from? And it's an energy and a mentality that is passed around from village to village within the village about how we are to act and conduct ourselves with brown owned businesses. And it's just not appropriate. And there are products that are made by brothers and sisters all over the world that cater to every single need that we have, whether it be for hair, skin, and nails. And we have to support. We cannot say, they don't never have nothing, or they don't. No. Stop with the narcissistic scapegoating, triangulation, projection. We are fucking up and have been fucking up. We are being dominated by an energy that makes us all be survival of the fittest. It's up to you. You're on your own. And oh well, there's an energy. It's that burn Wall Street down energy, the Black Wall Street down. It's like we our own people or pyromaniacs to our own village. The businesses, whether they be online or storefront, it is asinine and it is demonic that we don't turn our dollars, since we are the number one spenders, towards ourselves. They have enough people in their village to support, in their nations to support their stuff. And we sure enough have enough. What I did not agree with is where the man said we don't have the money. That's a bunch of bull shit. That's a bunch of bullshit. Excuse me. There are more Black millionaires than you think. Every millionaire doesn't show their bank account. There are more. There are billionaires, Black billionaires. And there are athletes that are millionaires. Don't tell me that there's not enough money for us to turn this thing around. I won't hear it. I don't receive it. And I return to sender that lie. The money is there. The problem is there's no will, and there is no way if there's no will. The only way will be the other way. Their way. Giving into the think tank. Giving into the destructive devices that are put in place for us to tear down the image of the Most High God. They're still doing it to this day. Knock the noses off off of the statues, and doing all kind of things to defame and to take away from true history. But now with the natural hair care movement and then embracing your hair, more and more people are emerging and saying, no, this is who I am and I embrace it. There's only so long that you can keep wearing a weave. There's only so long that you can keep doing it. There's only just so long that you can put up this false confidence, right? I'm not stepping on your toes. I'm just sitting down and having a consultation with you, because a real consultation, I'm not here to take your money. I'm here for you to vibrate higher. So at the beginning of the day, we do have enough economic power. We do have enough economic power to put money into everything that we need funded, but we won't. And that's that curse, that spell that hinders us, that stagnates us, that creates war and conflict and isolation and hate. You're doing the work for the enemy when you are trying to relax them. They don't need a massage. We're not here to not believe in the Most High God with them. We're not here to destruct our people with them. That's not the goal. It's happening, but that's not the goal. We are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful creations in all shades of brown, all textures of crown. The only ones who are really mad are the ones with the frown. So why are you down with giving in, forsaking your image that is a sin? You were created by the Most High. Don't be shy. It's time for you to accept and not deny. You're beautiful. That's a fact. But right now, you can't see it because you're under attack. Trouble don't last always. Hear me good. Doing a 180, yeah, that's something you should. It's time to embrace. It's time to refrain. Whatever that is in your blood, it's making you insane. I understand the pain, but it's been passed down. That's why you don't take care of your crown. That was a freestyle. Oh, what? Word? That's how y'all feel? Oh, what? I won? No, really, I won? Okay, well, I want to thank everybody else who was in this category with me. I'm all about making sure that I'm able to rhyme and it makes sense. And especially when you start out and you can't stop because everybody's listening. And if you fall off, they'll laugh. So you really got to bring it on home. Yeah, that's what that was. And I made it through with the improv. And I just thank you guys. I freestyle jingles and poetry sometimes. And thank you for voting for me and nominating me. Yes. You hear what I'm saying, though, brothers and sisters. We have got to get to a place to where we're not trying to relax anybody who has a problem with the image of the Most High God. We don't want to be enemies of the Most High God intentionally, right? Right. Okay, cool. Moving forward, brothers and sisters, now that I have said that part, in spirit and in truth, you're not a Kardashian. If our brothers started getting hair weaves to start looking like white men, yeah, right. Listen, brothers and sisters. Underneath a lot of weaves and wigs, you all have some beautiful crowns. You have all of your edges, and you have your hair is long, period. Many sisters are working with some beautiful texture underneath their protective style. And I want you to start wearing what you have underneath your protective style daily. And start to walk away from wearing the wigs and the weaves. Do what you need to do to get the proper products to heal if you have any type of damage. And start working towards emancipating yourself and putting yourself in a position to vibrate higher so you can be identified. It's real. This is a consultation because it is imperative that we stop killing our crown and taking our crown off and hating our crown. You don't know where you got your hair from. You picked it up at the beauty supply store. You don't even understand the history, of your hair. Whether there's a curse on it, and they're praying to gods as a sacrifice, And now you're receiving the karma from that sacrifice, and you're not even linking the two together. There's a curse on your tracks. That's just real in the field. And you're not aware of the process that your hair goes through. And what God are they praying to? Because the Lord said, you shall have no. So whoever they're praying to doesn't even exist. But at the same time, they're still playing with demons and entities and sacrificing to something that you can't see, but it's definitely not a righteous. It's not righteous. And it makes its way here, and you put it on, and you can't tell me you don't act differently. You know, the moment you stepped out the chair, it's a whole new you, for real, for real. And whoever's hair that is, that's who you are. Now, it ain't that serious. You're right. It's a 911. You are whoever's hair that is. Walking around wearing a sacrifice. What the Lord did on the cross wasn't enough for you? How much money do you spend on your bundles? We spend so much money, and we all have to do a 180 when it comes to our participation in the hair industry. And we all need to vibrate higher. To my sisters in Africa, hi, how are you? I was listening to the clip, so I understand what's going on. And only thing I can say is, please take the weaves out and get products for your natural hair and embrace who you are. I want you to stop watching what's going on over here in the U.S. because we're not role models for you. Not yet. Not all the way. We're not role models. Did she just say that? I sure the freak did. We're not role models. Other people watch what we do in the Western world. They watch TV. Ain't nobody living up in caves all the way. Like people all over the world are tuned into and have their eyes on what goes on in the U.S. So it's serious. We're not good role models. Please don't do anything that we got going on right now. If you're seeing us forsaking our crown and melting it down to make the oppressor comfortable, we're struggling financially, but at least our hair is done. I don't feel like doing my hair. I don't feel like being bothered with my hair. That's a bunch of bullshit, and you're lazy as fuck. Why? It's your hair. Comb it, brush it, maintain it, moisturize it, embrace it, and figure it out. Listen, I'm going to tell, this is real. Wait a minute. Here we go. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. Check this out. You can't be lazy about your hair. You feel beautiful with somebody else's truth on your hair. That's somebody else's truth. And they didn't even give a fuck about it. That's why they got rid of it. Because they want to sacrifice to some gods. And you don't know how deep it goes. You don't know what they say over this hair before they send it, because they know we're buying it. And we are always being targeted. We're always on the top of the list when it comes to tactics of genocide and tactics of gentrification. There are always think tanks, whether they be micro or macro, that are looking to seek, kill, and destroy the 12 tribes of Israel. Dumb as all get out, because for some reason they think that they can kill God and you can't. You think that you can babble your way to the throne and you never will. So what you do is you land these micro and macro attacks on my people and our image because you're jealous. You're so jealous of who we are. But some of you want to be the very people who are jealous of us. You are twisted. You don't show, your image doesn't show up when you look in the mirror. Their image. Every time you look in the mirror, Caesar Barjona shows up in the mirror. That's the image that you worship in demon and in lie, because it ain't in spirit and in truth. And that's just the truth of the matter. They laugh at us, make a mockery of us, what we went through with how we were broken down. Okay, our people in that time frame of slavery and the just everything that has been said about us and our image, and then how we tear ourselves down as well. It's learned behavior, but it needs to be burned behavior. At the beginning of the day, I mean what I'm saying. You've got to do a 180. The Lord is not pleased. We're trying to do everything we can to walk away from our Creator. To make the colonizer feel comfortable and relaxed. It's not about, this is my hustle, this is about, we hate ourselves. We don't like what we see. Too dark, too light, too kinky, too coily, too straight, too big, whatever it is, just completely tearing ourselves apart and making fun of others. And wanting to erase your skin tone is a sin. Wanting to lighten your skin tone is satanic. Seeking whom he may devour, stealing daily, preying upon the low self-esteem that is generational. Terrorizing our skin, hunted for our skin, hunted because of our melanin. Suffering in a world where your melanin is a target, automatically male or female. Having to deal with the pressures of the nations and the village. Succumbing or not to the emotional brutality that we inflict on ourselves and others as a result of being the chosen. Being who the Most High God died for. Being a part of the 12 tribes of Israel. We are hunted. And so we do things to our skin to make them more comfortable by lightening our skin, relaxing our texture, making them comfortable. Brothers and sisters, everything I'm saying is true. We're going to heal and we are going to vibrate higher. I have a problem with colorism and being someone who has survived being teased in the village for my melanin. I understand, but I'm not there anymore, and neither are you. 8th grade has come and gone. Some of us are in our 40s, 50s, 30s, and we can't hold on to that. We trauma bond not only with people, but with events as well. We have to let it go. We have to walk away from that now and know that your color never went out, no matter what shade of brown you're in. Whether they came out lighter than you or browner than you, we're all shades of brown people, and we are aware of miscegenation. And so these factors do play into why hair comes out looking the way it does or not, or why melanin comes out looking the way it does or not. Either way, we're in the village. And I just know that it is a demonic energy that preys upon people as they're growing up in school, being teased by not only the nations, but by your own people because of your melanin or anything else. So we're going to heal about our skin and how we view it, as well as learn about tips and products that will help us maintain our skin and have us glowing, and certain foods that really help us vibrate and glow as well, okay? And estheticians that are, Black-owned, brown-owned businesses and that focus on skincare and all of that. And, of course, dealing with our hands, our nails, our toes, and our feet. And, supporting Black-owned nail shops, wanting to see more Black-owned nail shops pop up, and coming out of the energy of not wanting to support because we think we're going to get piss poor business. If we start to do the energy work and the clearing and doing the return to senders and just learning about spirituality, because like I said, I have 2 wonderful spiritual teachers that I've learned so much from, but I won't say their name because I protect their power. But, doing the energy work and the clearing and everything helps you vibrate high. And it allows you to not want to be stagnant or lazy. Because like I said, people are putting curses on us to make us be stagnant and lazy. We are hardworking individuals. We know this to be the truth. We are strong and we are innovators and we are intelligent. So you have to start looking into other factors as to why there's such a developmental delay for us in the village as far as our own individual progression and collective progression. But if you don't believe in these type of things, then you will fall victim and not make it, because spiritual warfare is real. Shout out to the Realist Visionary podcast. I love your content and what you all do. Keep doing the good, bold work. I mean, I support your podcast 100%. I mean that. We should definitely try to collaborate. I wanted to give them a shout out. And since I'm giving shout outs, I might as well say shout out to KK Lachey. Shout out to MYHM Apparel. Shout out to Mont Music, Ali Frank, KJ Peoples, Corey Sloan, Nikki Jackson. Shout out to all of you all. I appreciate you so much. Now, getting back to where I'm going with this. If we understand that there are some energies that are dominating us and we do the energy clearing and the work, we will grow fast. We will build fast. It's the spirit of fear that's dominating. And I don't care who you are, what demon, principality, whatever, you need to feel me on this. You don't super rule. Never have, never will. So why would I fear you and not the one who super rules? The one who can snatch my life up just like that. Now, some of you are saying, well, shoot, I could do the same. You don't have all power, because if the Lord doesn't want me to die, there's nothing you could do to make me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. You need to understand, once again, how limited your power is. The Most High God makes the first and final. He's the Alpha and Omega. You need to get in touch with your spirituality so you can understand how this really goes. And then maybe you could vibrate high instead of walking around here with your chest puffed out and with your tongue hissing all the time. Slithering around town, thinking that you can go ahead and dominate people and not expect the Most High God to come and give you a swift one. Play with him if you want to. So as I said, there's no principality that super rules. So you can't use a tactic against the light workers or those who are speaking the truth and think that you're going to dominate and win when you don't sit high and look low and you do not have all power. When you gain that confidence, you can speak in the way that I'm speaking. So I'm saying to my brothers and sisters in the village that there are some curses, some spells, some hexes, voodoo on us, okay, individually and collectively, that are hindering us from moving forward. And you need to ask yourself, well, who's putting them on us? Well, you would have to understand the two concepts of slave master and overseer. And you can do your own deductive reasoning, pull out a calculator and wait for that download, because I'm not going to say all of what I just said and explain it at all. Scuba gear. But it's about us understanding who we are and who we are not, and who we should be and who we don't need to be anymore, right? It's about evolving. So walking around here thinking that you have an inner somebody is questionable, and then wanting to look like somebody else is not okay. Now, some of you say, well, I embrace myself, but I just wear it because I didn't ask you. Feel me on that. I didn't ask you. And I'm not listening for that comment, because that's not helping. There's a war on us. So I didn't ask you why you're doing what you're doing. What I'm saying, there's a war on us. There's been a war on us, and there's a war on our image and the likeness that we were created in. And our sisters and our brothers, some, are being held captive by the colonizers, societal suggestions, influences, pressures, stereotypes to look a certain way in order to make the colonizer feel comfortable. It takes a lot of work to make you hate your hair. Real talk. So, and vibrating high is the goal of the hair appointment. I make no apologies for anything that I'm saying. I have suffered from different thoughts of what beauty was. I have tried products. I have hated. I have spoken evil to myself. I have not liked what I've seen in the mirror. And that's just those energies don't exist anymore, because I know I'm beautiful. Everything is right. Everything is tight. God didn't make a mistake. And I embrace everything about me. And I don't want to look to the left or to the right. I am fine with how I vibrate. And I also learned that beauty is an energy that comes from the inside. Now, beauty is manipulated with sorcery, and we don't play with sorcery. If you're doing beauty spells and glam spells and all this other type of bullshit to make yourself have a one-up or look a certain way, then you're whack as fuck. Yeah, I'm just just going to wiggle my nose and I'm going to play with toads. And I'm going to be the most beautiful girl in the world. Damn it. Is that you, sis? No, the Lord has made many beautiful women. You're going to have to feel comfortable with your beauty and feel comfortable with being in the room with other beautiful women and in the world with other beautiful women. Okay? It's not just about you. It's about us. And I mean brothers and sisters. I'm not talking about girl power who runs the world, because the Most High God does. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Get with it. So that's where we're at today. Okay? The hair appointment covering hair, skin, and nails, making sure that we are maintaining ourselves from the inside out, from the outside in. And that we are building up and pouring into the village the brown dollar. And if you have a problem with that, you know how we already feel at the Sister Speak Show. We don't care at all, because as a light worker, it is important to be bold. Okay? Because some of you, let's just be real, getting back to the hair before I take a quick commercial break, some of you already know what time it is. You know that you have picked out a picture before for your hair and it never happened. Yeah, you paid for it, but you weren't happy. It didn't look anything like the picture. She didn't know what she was doing, but you saw the image, you liked it, and it never happened. These are the things we're going to talk about. We're not just going to talk about, why you need to do a 180. We're going to also talk about how you've had to go home and fix your hairstyle because she didn't do a good job. Because it's some bullshit. Because you're not happy. I don't care how much Isoplus you spray on my hair. I don't care how much Pump It Up you put on me. Or on my eyelashes or my face. Now my face will stay for sure. But you can't spray me with all these products and my hair still be some bullshit. Taking all day trying to fix it. I'm ready to get out this chair, ma'am. Ma'am, don't you have any other clients? I can't be your only client. We're going to talk about getting to your appointment at 9:30 and not having your hair start till 1. And we're going to talk about why you stayed and didn't get up and cancel. We're going to have to start walking out. It's a waste of time to be in somebody's books from 9:45. At 9:45, you show up at 9:30 because you are extra juiced to get your braids done or your hair done, whatever it is, and then they don't show up till 1 o'clock. And they come in smelling like Subway and Lay's potato chips, and didn't even bring you shit. You been sitting in the stomach sitting there. People thinking y'all got a pet dinosaur in the salon. You just sitting there hungry. You can only eat so many bags of 50-cent Cheetos. You can only eat so many Little Debbie snacks. I don't have enough quarters for your vending machine. This should say, just in case you're going to be here 4 hours before your beautician shows up. I don't even know why this thing should have, the door should be open. This vending machine door, nah, y'all should go and get a handle. I should be able to open this like a refrigerator. Yes, I did say refrigerator. Like, seriously. No, I'm going to need you to get some Fiji water up in here. Nah, if I'm going to be here for 4 hours waiting to get my hair done, then I'm going to need some Fiji water, because this thing just says water. And I'm beginning to think, it's just me, that you made the labels yourself. But moving forward, we're going to talk about how do we get beauticians to show up on time outside of having useless points, accidents or things of that nature. Why the fuck aren't you here on time? Girl, my bad. Did you eat 5 times? What are you kidding me? I know everything that comes in this little Debbie snack. I know the calorie count. I learned how to pronounce monosodium glutamate. I learned how to pronounce riboflavin. Are you kidding me? I'm watching soap operas and talk shows. I don't want to watch this, but this is on. Why are you late again? I tried to text you from what? A Fisher Price phone? From what? What did you try to text me from? Hope? Maybe? Well, I'm just asking. We're going to talk about these things. We're going to talk about salon etiquette. We're going to talk about, the before and the after. We're going to talk about, hair shows and just everything. I don't want you to think that this is just going to all be bend over. You're being punished. It's not that at all. We're going to talk about going to the beauty supply store, customers, customer service. We're going to get into the reality of it. It's not just going to be Encyclopedia Britannica, guys. It's not. I'm telling you. It's really not. We're going to talk about the time when you were little and you used to sit with your ponytails hanging over the church pew with your knockaballs. We're going to talk about holding on to split ends because that's length. We're going to talk about how she only said she was going to take off 1 inch. Now you have a bob. Now you're now. Now you're Danita the Explorer. Who knew? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about, the beautician not telling you that she burnt out half your hair trying to cover it up, cutting too much, or, the brothers. Trust me, I got you too. We're going to talk about them clippers slipping. That lineup not going too well. Men now covering up their bald spots by putting weaves in. We're going to talk about hair glue and everything. We are going to cover the gamut, okay? All things beauty for us. We're going to talk about, no, not today, Satan. Never. I'm not going to play this game. Excuse that background noise. That really pisses me off. All right. We're going to explore all things. Hair for both men and women. We're not going to leave any stone unturned, we hope. That is the goal for the hair appointment. Okay? We're going to definitely get into the culture of hair. Yes. I'm really excited. I really am. Okay. All right. Cool. We'll be right back after this commercial break, brothers and sisters.
Sis, I saw this super fly top online at kklachey.com. It's perfect.
I'm excited to see it. I need something that will complete my outfit.
One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. When you shop at kklachey.com, you're going to find what you're looking for and more. These sexy tops are on sale for $28. Your outfit is going to be lit. When they ask you where you got it from, make sure you tell them it's kklachey.com.
You just took playing That's My Car to a whole nother level. The latest episode of the Tour on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, jacking for more than beats, the effects of GTA and rap music, confessing to crimes over beats, lyrics leading to arrest. On the tour, we're covering all aspects of the music industry, including interviews with musicians, managers, songwriters, producers, music groups, DJs, and exclusive music and concert reviews. Either you're playing the video game or the video game is playing you. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Brotherhood,
sisterhood, leadership. Those are the qualities that you were looking for when you were joining, not humiliation. The latest episode of The Culture Climate on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts on this episode. Death before degree, hazing in fraternities and sororities. On The Culture Climate, we're covering what others are afraid to cover in the village, including controversial conversations, taboo subject matters, addressing the inner me's, exposing the enemies, interviews, audio from video clips, international, national, local news affecting the village. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Remember, you don't have to die to belong. Be encouraged. You don't have to die to belong. Welcome back. This is Sister Speaking. You are listening to the Hair Appointment, where we're covering all aspects of hair in the village for all shades of brown people on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. I am Sister Speak, brothers and sisters. And you know what? I like the fact that we can go everywhere in this conversation and that I have enough gas to do it. Let me explain. Let me be transparent. This is my second time recording this episode. Yeah, I gassed earlier and I couldn't put it out. Why not, Sister Speak? This is the second time that you've recorded something and couldn't put it out. The reason why I could not put it out is because it was a little bit too aggressive. I respect you all enough to make sure that my energy is cool. And if I know that my energy needs to cool it now, I need to slow it down. Slow it down. You're gonna lose control. Cool it down. That's what that was for me. That's New Edition came out and started singing and said, you ain't gonna be able to put that episode out. I was like, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, Johnny, why? They said if it isn't love. Like, what you mean? They're like, sorry, I'm a kind of girl. No, quit playing. No, I'm not. I'm having a good time. But in seriousness, I couldn't put it out. It was just it wasn't the vibe that I needed to say what I needed to say in order to introduce the hair appointment in a way that you all would receive it. And I do respect you all enough to make sure that you receive it and it's good to take with you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this is my second time recording it, and I know this one will make the play for sure. And I couldn't ask for anything more than to be observant of myself, right? And know when to come on, Sister Speak, come on back now. Yeah, nah, that one was for you. So that's in the for me category. And I'll just stay in my drafts. But anyway, hair, skin, and nails in totality for the village. So we'll be able to vibrate higher and get back to how we were fearfully and wonderfully made. So we can change the narrative to a righteous one and to where we are not the victims of our own verbal brutality or others. And that we can get away from the generational curses in our lineage that make us feel a certain way when we show up into the mirror. And that we would see our reflection as good. Now, sometimes your reflection, let me just say, your reflection is going to show you the truth. Now, if you're under any type of false illusions, you may not be able to see it because you're living your worst life and nobody can tell you anything. And you're so caught up in the false image that the truth almost has laryngitis in your life. But it's literally, you can see that you need to change. You can look at yourself and you say, look, you know what? I'm seeing this energy come from me and this isn't good. And the Lord will allow you to have a serious MRI
with that reflection, and he will show you what he sees. There's nothing that you can mask in front of him. He knows it all and he sees it all. So we're learning that if we don't heal, that can affect our looks from head to toe, and has a direct impact on our energy and can make us enter into some processes that are not good for us, but we are so desperate to be beautiful and to be liked and to be seen as attractive that we are willing to go very far, far, deep, in order to gain self-satisfaction for our gender, for our body dysmorphia, for believing the lie that is projected to us from the enemy. Our village is in intensive care, and a lot of our hair needs to be in intensive care. I thank you for listening this evening. The episodes are going to be great, good content, laughter, wisdom, joy, and healing. And hopefully, not the people at the pool. Speaking of pools, when's the last time you went underneath the water, sis? When's the last time you stood in the shower and you let that water cleanse your crown from it? Peak to point. When's the last time you washed it away, brother and sister? When's the last time you just stood in the shower and allowed a cleansing to manifest? Cleanliness is next to godliness. And if your hair is always covered to where you can't wash it for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, you're missing out on a divine healing from peak to point. I don't wash my own hair. I let somebody else do it. Listen, Dynasty. Listen, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Listen. Get that bougie bullshit out of here. Now, there's nothing wrong with having somebody provide some primp and some care and some grooming. But you should never have somebody else maintain your hair only. It should be an extra and not an only. You can get mad if you want to. It's been spoken, it's been said. When's the last time you allowed water, shampoo, and conditioner to hit your head? When's the last time you actually submerged yourself? All that exercising, all of your, going throughout the week and just everything, you have encountered some trials and tribulations that you need to get in the shower and let that water hit you from peak to point. Okay, yeah. Okay, we back? Okay, yeah, okay. No, I'm just playing. I'm serious. I thank you all for listening to The Hair Appointment. It's probably 5,462 degrees right now. Huh? Oh my goodness. Cheers again. Hold up. My water needs water. My water is thirsty. My water is like, could you give me some water? Man, you know it's hot when your water needs water. Have you given your water some water? Anyway, thank you for being a wonderful listening audience. Time has been well spent. You have a wonderful rest of your week. This week is my born day on the 26th, which is on a Thursday. Now, I don't celebrate or anything like that. I'm just telling you all that if it be the Lord's will, I will be able to walk into another year. I'll be 9. Do the math. Don't carry the 1, subtract the 2. Put it all together. I'm happy for me, happy for you. No, seriously. I will be another year older, and I'm grateful. Anyway, if it's the Lord's will. So anyway, brothers and sisters, I thank you for being a wonderful listening audience. Tune in to all of the other episodes that I have put out for you all to listen to. And I thank you in advance for not stealing my content. And if you're going to listen to my show, and this is for all people who listen to my show, if you're going to listen to my show, please give credit. Say, hey, I was listening to the Sister Speak show. Stealing content can get you caught up with a cease and desist, and it can also get you caught up with some serving, with some, serving of papers to go to court and things of that nature. I know coincidence, and I also know that the Lord does give us a common assignment, and I also know me when I hear me. And there are some people out here who allegedly have a bigger platform, and I say allegedly because I don't buy like, shares, subscribes, downloads, and views like most people do. So my platform is original. I toil my own soil. So when you have a bigger platform than I do, you should be able to meditate and come up with bigger topics. Don't you think? Like your topic should be so grand and so profound and so deep that everybody is in awe. But what you're not going to do is listen to this show and not give credit where credit is due and then make money off of my content. Straight up like that. Now, I am not the one to play with, and I don't fight fair. And if it hasn't been given to you, and it's how I do me, then you're not going to be able to make it, and your mask is going to fall off. And this is for everybody. Taking from other content creators and lying in wait for the next idea to drop and then going and trying to put your little funky ass twist on it, that shit don't work. You're hella whack. And I will question, why the fuck are you in the industry that you're in if you're going to bite off of other people? I don't care how long you've been in the industry. Just because you have $1 million or not, just because you are a well-known celebrity or not, does not give you the effing right to sit and steal content and ideas from other people who have sat up and have toiled the soil to come up with this thing that was given to them so they could create generational wealth for their family and their lineage and be able to pour back into the community. What the fuck what type of vibe are you on? Straight up. R for strong content, language, and thoughts. I keep hearing me, and it's just like, wow. How is it that you could just be saying the same thing that I'm saying? You're listening. I have data. I have statistics. I have everything. What I record from gives it to me all. You can look and see. It says Anchorman. You think I don't have the full-fledged benefits of the platform that I record from? I work hard for my people. I'm not the only light worker. I'm not the only chosen one. That's why I send a shout out to the people who I support. So everybody will know this is for the wolves. The Lord will give a common subject for the light workers, and we will go out and we will execute it and we will do the assignment. There are some of us who are in the same class taking the same course. I'm not talking about you all. Keep carrying on. Keep being bold. Keep being bright. And keep being a warrior. Keep putting out that content. I'm talking about to the people who are literally stealing content, excuse me, that was not given to you. You're not even in our class. What type of sense does that make to not be in somebody's class but do the work from their class? You're doing too much. I think I've said enough with that. That's why I will always say I'm not the. I'm one of the. I know the Lord isn't a midget, and I will never sit here and disrespect another platform and think that another platform is not as popping or even more popping even more. Okay? But what I do know is I'm not a colonel. So we are popping over here. So I want to encourage everybody to protect your content. Okay? Protect it. Pray over it. We are light workers, and there are people who want to take and pervert and put their own funky ass remix on what we're saying and doing. And it just won't happen. So I am excited to be a part of true light workers who have podcasts, talk shows, are life coaches, motivational speakers who are doing the assignments that we have been given. We're doing a good job with these assignments. Do you understand my high vibrations? I make it very specific who I am and who I'm not talking about. I'm not throwing any slugs or no subs. I said what I said, and I mean what I am saying. Stop perverting our work. Do the meditations and put out your own content. As I stated before, I am one of. I am not the. I'm not the only one who gets a download that is of the same topic and who has been given the assignment to go out and speak on that thing. We're scholars. Shout out to us. Okay, all right. Got that off my chest, so I guess there goes the vent session. Anyway, brothers and sisters, I've been talking a lot. Brothers and sisters, I thank you so much. Whew. All right, I can start to take my foot off the gas and get ready to cruise. So thank you, brothers and sisters, for being a wonderful listening audience. I hope you have a wonderful evening. It's 5:54 p.m. and I am signing off of the hair appointment on the Sister Speak show, covering all aspects of hair in the village for all shades of brown people. Rated R for strong content and language. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer, my God, my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield, and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. Blessed be the name of the Most High God. I'm divinely protected, and so is my listening audience. We return to center all negative energy, all satanic energy, the evil eye. And it has an adverse, immediate effect into your bosom. Warriors, mount up and embrace your melanin and your hair, your image and your tribe. Be ye healed and be ye delivered. Take up thy bed and walk.